Hello. The astrological aspects are in a powerful, focused configuration as we approach the full moon in Virgo at 12:15 on Saturday, February 27th, here on the west coast of the United States. It's at 12:15 in the morning, so it will be in the evening on Friday, February 26th on the East Coast and in Europe. So the planets form a configuration called a broom. And I'm going to show you that what that configuration looks like. Sigmund Freud had his chart is in a broom configuration. So when this aspect appears in somebody's chart, or in the sky right now, when it's the astrological configuration, it shows the ability to get a lot done, to clean house, as it were, to sweep out the old and bring in the new. It shows the ability to pull all the energy. It shows strong energy that's available. And it shows, and then the handle of the broom gives you the wherewithal to use that energy. So here, let me show you what it looks like. Let's see, share screen. Okay, here is the current astrological and the aspects right now. This is, so see all the planets here grouped together. This is a significant aspect. This is something that I've been talking about and that I will keep talking about. The planets stay pretty tightly grouped together through till the end of May, really. They start to open up. They're gradually opening up prior to that, but it's not really till the end of May. So we also have like this right here. This is not a planet, and this is not a planet. This is a point, the nodes of the moon. But all of these planets are encased within one aspect. This is Mars at 27 degrees Taurus and Pluto at 25 degrees Capricorn. This is a trine, a positive aspect. So all of the planets are encased within that aspect. And then here, the moon, the full moon in Virgo opposite the sun in Pisces, the full moon gives us the handle. So that handle, without that, it can be hard to use all this energy. All this energy is a trine, it's a positive aspect, but actually doing something with it can be hard. Depending upon your own astrological chart, it might be easier because you might have planets in your chart that form its own handle to these particular aspects. But if you don't, it can be hard to use all this energy, and the full moon gives us that. It gives us the handle to use the energy. It gives us the drive and the focus and the force and the use, and gives us like something useful to do with all of that. The fact that the handle is formed by the moon in the practical, down-to-earth sign of Virgo, the sign that really wants to make maximum use of every resource, that just makes it that much easier to manifest whatever it is that we've been thinking of or dreaming of. So that group of planets, the planets that are most tightly grouped together, most of them they're in either Aquarius, or there's 3 planets in Aquarius and 3 planets in Pisces. So Aquarius is very idealistic and Pisces is very dreamy. So this is a very idealistic, dreamy grouping. Having a way to physically manifest it that the full moon gives us is really powerful and wonderful. And now's the time that we have the ability to we have an ability to act on all those idealistic plans and dreams that we're having. So the planets in Aquarius and Pisces encourage us to think those kind of big, noble, world-changing thoughts. And the full moon, the earth signs, and the full moon in an earth sign gives us the energy to manifest that right now. So. And given the aspects, the play of the aspects, there's the other earth signs, there's a little bit of something for everyone these days. Something that's easy and positive and something that's a little challenging. Leo's, of all the signs, is the one that might be feeling the most like, well, they're not really getting that much fun out of it all. Leos are doing a lot of getting in their own way. Something particularly frustrating for that particular sign, which likes attention. But right now, there's a lot of energy for Leos around relationships and partnership. Now, whether that means positive energy or whether it means negative energy, feast or famine, boom or bust, it's hard to say. That would depend upon your chart, but there's certainly a lot going on in that area. With Saturn, the disciplinarian, and Jupiter, the bringer of blessings and good fortune, in the opposite sign of Leo, which is Aquarius, you probably feel like something outside of you is doing a lot of pushing. And this seems to be in control, seems to be the one calling the shots, whether it's something else or another person. It's likely there's another person probably involved. Even if it seems like something outside of you is like moving the pieces, it's still up to you to decide. It's still yours to deal with, and it's up to you to decide how to respond to them, whether they're, regardless of whether their demands are reasonable or unreasonable. So you can do it. It's nothing you can't handle, and it'll be good. It'll be good for you. So Leo's a fire sign, and the other fire signs, although they're having an easier time of it, they may also feel like, well, you know, it's a little harder than it should be, that they're having to work a little bit harder than they really feel like they should be working or that they want to be working. And more to the point, that the rewards for their work are really not being that forthcoming. And the recognition that they're putting this like gargantuan effort in and getting like this trickle of like recognition. Yeah, the fire signs don't really usually like the slow, steady approach, which is something that's kind of encouraged by this time. There is payback for you, and there are opportunities, even if the opportunities seem subtle, and the payback also may be subtle and may take a while to really come into effect, or for you to really see it more than anything. Aquarius may feel a little bit of what Leo is, what I was talking about with Leo, the issues with partnership, but more to the point, I mean, it's a pretty intense time for Aquarius. And with Saturn and Jupiter there, it can feel like, wow, it's a really hard time, but somehow, like I'm managing it. Somehow, like I'm not even getting all that flustered, and I'm managing to pull together, and I don't even know how. But it's a really interesting time for Aquarius. There's a lot going on, and times when it can feel like your buttons are really being pushed, but somehow you're dealing with it. So can't be all that bad. The earth signs, which are Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. Taurus, it's always like a wild card these days. It should be better than it has been. It should be actually really good, but who knows? With Uranus in your sign, there's no telling. And with those other planets in Aquarius, like, you know, anybody's guess. It's a constant game of 52 pickup. But generally speaking, the aspects bless the earth signs these days. You know, that's going to vary depending upon what else is going on in your chart, but there's a lot of nice aspects for the earth signs. And the air signs likewise have positive aspects. They may both need to do a little bit more grounding, and with Saturn in an air sign, be getting a little help doing a little bit more grounding. Like I said, there's something for everyone these days, positive and challenging. So that is kind of what you want in life, especially when you have a handle to the broom. Generally speaking, the trend these days is towards opening up. That's like that grouping of planets, that bunched up group of planets is slowly starting to open up. That said, they don't really fully open up, as I said, until the end of May. And prior to that, there's a lot of, you know, wacky, weird aspects that happen. But the energy is less constipated and frustrated, although the planets were bunched up in January, there was the position of the planets, and the position of Mars in particular was such that there was this frustrated, like the walls are caving in on me, like angry, violent note to the aspect, which is gone. That's not so much the case, even though it can still be difficult to access the energy with the planets bunched like that. The position of the moon, which changes every 2.5 days, becomes more important, and has more of an effect. Every day it changes, like what you feel you can do. Again, this varies according to your chart as well, but it can still feel isolating and a little difficult to access the energy at hand. But nonetheless, as I said, the trend is towards opening. And Given that we have until May, until things really open up for us, this particular full moon with its broom configuration and the full moon forming the handle asks us to consider the usefulness of limits. And it offers us great benefits, great blessings and rewards by accepting and working with them. Limits are important, and within limits, tremendous things can be done. So think about what limits really matter. This is one of those times when you don't really have to choose so much whether whether you're going to give to God or to Caesar. You can probably find a way to give to both if you figure out the right way to create the important limits or to accept the limits that present themselves to you. Can't be done with blind faith or rote effort. And there's a constant renewal of attention and focus that is necessary. But the broom is there, and the world can be changed with it. So, what do you want to sweep out and sweep in? Enjoy the full moon.